With all of the talk about back to school, a lot of people have been asking us what we do for our planning every year. And so I thought I would just put together something quick so that you can see how I go about planning my year. We have, again, 4 children. 3 of them we do school with all the time. And Ellie here is sharpening our pencils. It's a much needed task that the kids take turns doing, maybe once a week or so. And so she's going to stay here and sharpen our pencils while I go through this. She will be in 2nd grade, and then our middle son will be in 4th grade, and my oldest son will be in 6th grade. So we'll be kind of gearing this towards how I would be planning, but really it works for every grade. And the one thing that I want to say is this method that I'm putting together, the way I start laying this out, I learned this years and years ago from a wonderful Waldorf teacher, Barbara Dewey, and she's become a dear friend and a mentor to me, and I can't say enough about her. So please take the time to visit her site. She's at waldorfwithoutwalls.com, and she is a wonderful, wonderful woman, great presenter, and has some wonderful Waldorf ideas. But anyways, what we're going to do is I want you to take a big piece of paper. You could use a piece of painting paper, or this is the larger drawing paper that you can get from Mercurius, and it's probably 15 by 12, I would guess. And you want it to be this big because you're going to fold it and then make it so that you have squares for every month and enough room for everything that you're doing. So you want to fold it so that you've got at least 12 squares, and this is going to end up being more than that. So I folded it in half, then I folded those halves in half. I'm going to fold it in half this way. So what you're going to end up with is something like this. Now, I use this in addition to the planner that we put out. On our website, we have this planner called My Journey, and it's actually going to be going through some changes, but the content of it won't be changing. What we're hoping to do is probably offer some different sizes so that it's easier for different people to use. But in the Journey planner, I've got planning and journaling sections for every day of the week, and so I do use this to lay out a lot of my daily stuff or to make notes that of things that I need to get. And it's also just a great day planner as well. But this that I'm doing here, this is the mother of all planning for the year. This is how I sit down and I lay it all out. Once you get all your folds made, this has got 16 squares. What you're going to do with the first 12 is put the months of the year. So you'll go through and put your months of the year and put that all together. Now you want to start your plan with whichever month you're going to start school with. Okay, now that you've got it all labeled, I labeled mine September and I went all the way through August because realistically for us we never get done in May. What I want you to do then is think about what you've got going each month. If you've got birthdays, I want you to put them in there. If you've got festivals, obviously you want to stick your festivals in there. If you celebrate the full moons, I go through usually and write down when all the full and new moons are in here, just so that I have everything right here. I don't want to be hunting for it when I do my monthly planning and my weekly planning. So I try to put everything that I can on this piece of paper. And there again, hence that nobody steals it because they know their life would be in danger if that were to happen. Mommy would not be a happy camper, would I? So we know we have Daddy's birthday or Eric's birthday in September.
When's my birthday?
You know your birthday's in June. This is also good too if you know when you're going to be taking family vacations. Put those on here. Really, it's meant for anything. Eric almost fell off the chair. It's meant for anything that is going to come up in your school year that might lead your lessons astray. So you really want to make sure you put as much on here as you can. Now that doesn't mean you're not going to have other things come up, an impromptu vacation here or there, but really anything that you already have planned out, you should put on here. And then when you are thinking about, in November you go, oh, we want to get away in January, you better pull this out and look at it and go, oh, well, January might not be the best month because we're trying to pack all this stuff in, or try and figure out how you can split things up and take lessons with you, kind of thing. So it really becomes a good tool in that respect. So let's finish up here. We've got Jacob's birthday in March. And then we have Sammy's birthday in June. And then we've got our festivals. We're going to put our festivals in here. We got to put Michaelmas is in September. So you would just go through, and I'm not going to finish it all, but you kind of get the idea. You would go through and you would put all of those things in there, and that will give you the bare idea of where you've got to work with. A lot of times when people are trying to figure out their rhythm and figure out how they're going to plan their school year, they fail to look at this part, and this part really is super important. You need to look at the big picture from the whole all the way down to its parts. There's that whole to parts thing again. If you look at the whole that way, it becomes a lot easier to break down your months and your weeks and know where your lesson blocks go. For us, I've always kind of done the lesson blocks so that they're either 2 weeks or 4 weeks. It makes it easier that way. For grade 6, we've got a couple that are 1 week, but we've laid them out in such a way that the other 3 weeks kind of follow in suit, so you're not breaking up the months so much. And I've just found in doing this as long as we have that it really helps kind of the cohesive flow, and it helps your mental state, and it helps keep the rhythm going. So now what are you going to do with these other blocks? Well, what I like to do is I take these 4 on the bottom and I put each child's name on them. And then I sit and really think about what things I want the children to be working on for the year, maybe some weaknesses that they might have that we want to strengthen through the school year, or even if I've just got some notes that I want to make sure I remember about each child, I'll put them here. And I'll also put like book lists. If I've got book lists that I know I want to remember when I go to do ordering, I'll kind of jot those down here so that I have one place again where everything is. And then on the back, I can go a little more in depth. And usually by the end of the school year, in fact, I already threw away the one from last year, but by the end of the school year, this piece of paper has been folded and stuck in my pocket or in my planner so many times that it looks pretty ragged, but it's well used, and I think it's really the best. I still track things on the computer. I still do use other planners, but this has kind of become the tried and true I can't part with kind of thing. And again, blessings to Barbara Dewey for coming up with this, and we've just kind of morphed it to work for our family. So I'm going to take some of these blocks down here, and with Harry, one of the places I'd like to see Harry do some growth is with his math. He's a little bit behind in his math, and so we're going to be working on making sure he is ready for grade 7 after he's done with grade 6. And so that's one thing that I would jot in here, that we're going to be doing a little bit of remedial math. All of them, all 3 of the older children, I'd like to be doing more drawing with and more painting with, and so I'm going to be putting that in these boxes down here.